Today, we're taking a crack at slow cooker Chipotle street tacos. If we were to have a graph comparing the easiness of a recipe versus the output deliciousness, Chipotle street tacos lie somewhere around here. Because we're doing this in the slow cooker, I'm up early this morning and starting it before work. And no worries if it goes a little bit over the 8-hour cook time. I've never seen that much loss of quality. Basically, I'm just gonna throw everything in the Crockpot, set it to a low setting, and then go about my merry way on my day. This way, dinner's already ready 8 hours from now. This being the case, I feel like it's about time for us to move on.
Alrighty then, we'll start things off by bringing out the old Crockpot and plugging it in right next to the machine that gives you the hot bean water you've developed a crippling addiction to and you struggle to find productivity without. Next, take a medium yellow onion and slice it into a fine dice before sliding it into the pot. Following that, we're going to introduce the key ingredient to this dish: canned chipotle peppers and adobo sauce. This you can find in most supermarkets over by the salsa and taco ingredients. Remove this from the can and try your best to slice it into a fine dice without making too much of a mess with the sauce. After that is the chicken, which for this recipe yielding about 8 to 10 servings, I've gone with about 2 pounds of chicken tenderloins. Use breasts if you like, I only went with tenderloins because they were on sale. Off to the pot they go with the next key ingredient, minced garlic. You can tell that I really like garlic here because we're going with about 2 to 3 teaspoons or about 4 to 6 cloves of garlic. After that comes 1 teaspoon of salt, 1 teaspoon of dried oregano, 1 teaspoon of red pepper flakes for spicy, and a half a cup of orange juice as our simmering liquid. Now, you'll try your best to mix that all together and coat the chicken as evenly as possible, but just know that it'll all get shredded eventually, so don't worry about it if you can't get it perfectly. Cover with your lid and set to a low temperature. On top of that, start a stopwatch on your phone so you can think all day about the deliciousness you have waiting back at home. Flash forward about 7 hours, and you've likely been greeted with the most heavenly smell from your crockpot upon making it home. Honestly, the aromas that fill your kitchen count as self-care. From here, we're gonna pop off the lid and begin to shred with 2 forks, which can be done incredibly easy with how tender the meat has become. To your shredded chicken, you'll add in the juice of 1 lime, approximately 1 tablespoon of black pepper, and 1 teaspoon of dried cilantro. You'll then let that continue to cook on low with the lid removed while we prepare the toppings for our tacos. Today, we're going to be making spicy pineapple slaw, which means we're working with purple cabbage. Slice in half, then carefully remove the starchy center heart of the cabbage. Following that, slice across into thin strips, then again into chunks. Alternatively, if you have a box shredder, this is the perfect time to use it. Toss about 2 cups of your shredded cabbage into a bowl, saving the rest for future use. And dice up 1 jalapeno very finely. We're keeping the seeds in so that we can really feel the spice in these tacos. Next is the pineapple tidbits, which we're only gonna need about 1 cup of, so I'm saving the rest in a Tupperware container for snacking later. After that, cut into a lime for juicing and remind yourself that you need to get better at sharpening your knives more often. They're looking a little dull. But along with that lime juice, you'll add in about 2 tablespoons of olive oil and 1 tablespoon of apple cider vinegar. Mix that around and refrigerate until needed. Over on the stovetop, we've got 4 corn tortillas toasting to make them a little bit more pliable and also slightly browned. While this is happening, I personally like to take a serving of the chicken and toss into a pan with a small amount of olive oil on a high heat to get a bit of crispiness on the meat. It shouldn't take longer than a few minutes. When it comes to assembly, you'll layer your tacos with your chicken, followed by a bit of spicy pineapple slaw, a small handful of diced Roma tomatoes, a pinch of shredded pepper jack cheese, an unceremonious dollop of sour cream, and lastly, a few carefully placed avocado slices. And with that, you've made some perfectly stuffed Chipotle tacos. Admittedly, I got a bit impatient and hungry towards the end, so my tortillas didn't toast quite enough. But hey, these tacos were incredibly delicious, just a little bit messier than anticipated. The juicy savoriness of the adobo chicken is incredibly powerful, and I couldn't recommend this dish enough for anyone who is trying to make some restaurant quality food without too much work. Beyond that, if you're like me and you don't mind eating tacos a few days in a row, these make for a great meal prep item. And if you want more recipes that are perfect for meal prep, make sure to subscribe to the channel to stay up to date. At this point, I just want to say thank you for watching. I appreciate y'all more than you know. If you have any suggestions for future episodes, leave it in the comment section below. Thank you once again, and I'll see you all next time.